Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Alhamdulillahi rabbil alamin. Assalatu wassalamu ala rasulillah wa ala alihi wa ashabihi wa man tabi'ahum bi ihsanin ila yaumiddin. All praises be to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala who has given us mercies and blessings so we can attend this WTTS, which is Weekend Tech Talks. Okay, may peace and salutations always be with our Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, who has guided us from the stupidity to the cleverness era, from the darkness to the brightness era of Islam religion until now. Well, good morning, people. How are you today? I hope you're always in a good condition. And welcome back to the Weekend Technology Talks. First of all, let me introduce myself. Well, my name is Faiz, and I'm a 10th grader software engineering student at IDN Boarding School, Pamijahan, Bogor. Well, today, in this occasion, I will be the master of ceremony of this Weekend Technology Talks. Okay, so today we will have a speaker and he will discuss about how to make a simple website. Interesting, right? So, without any further ado, please welcome Adrian Alfiki Narendra.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullah. Hello, brother Adrian. How's life, dude?
I'm fine. Yeah, thank you. How about you?
I'm fine, alhamdulillah. Thank you. Well, I heard that today you will discuss about how to make a simple website, right?
Exactly, man.
Okay. Okay, so maybe you can start to explain your topic to brother Adrian. Time is yours.
Okay, let's start. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Adrian Vicky Narendra from 10th grade RPL, and today I am going to walk you through how to make a simple website. No need to be too complicated, just a simple website for beginners. So first you need, of course, Visual Studio Code. First, you make a folder which have two files for CSS and HTML, which need to have a .html and .css at the end of it, and a picture that you like. I choose this mountain picture. Okay, let's start for the extensions. I use Show Preview. You can download it. It's in VS Code right here. Show Preview. But you can also do it in web. Okay, let's start. Let's just start. Okay, so first make the basics. The header, we'll make the navbar first. Start with the logo. Nice. We can see all the links are now here. We will make the HTML first, then we will decorate it with CSS. Home services contact. Okay, nice. Okay, we start in the home. The ID home. Home image. We make a new div. Wait, I haven't explained the header. So first make a header with the class header and a which is a link with the don't href, just put this because we don't have a link yet with the class logo, and you can put whatever here. And then this is a bit complicated. You don't need this. Just continue to enough. Make enough with the class navbar and throw 4a or 4 links, but you can do however many you like. So you can make 5, maybe 6, maybe only 2, maybe only 1. But usually it's best to be 4 or 5. So here I'll be making 4, which is home, services, about, contact. Just ignore the class active here. It's not important. Okay, then we close the nav and the header, and we continue to home. First, make a div with the class home and the ID home. Don't forget the ID. And then inside that div, make a div again with the class home image. And the home image, don't fill it with nothing because we'll fill it in CSS later. Okay, make another div, home content, which has another two div inside of it and a button. The first div inside of the div home content is the div title. This is the main title that we'll be using for your website, the big title. Here, I use welcome to caffeine. Caffeine is, maybe you can welcome to your home, maybe welcome to website, welcome to your product. Caffeine is my product. So the subtitle, the under the title there will be a smaller text, which is the subtitle. You can fill it with anything you like also. And then below it, we make a button with the class btn and see more, or anything that you like. You can customize it yourself, the text. Okay, that's all for the home section. Just close all the div. And then we move on to the service section. This will be right below the home section. First, we make a section with the class services and the ID services. Don't forget the ID. And first, we make the H2, or the title for our service section. And then we make another div, which is have a class services container, which in it we have another div with the class service box, which inside it we have an H3, which is smaller than H2. You can write whatever here, maybe a product. I choose coffee, and under that we give a paragraph, which the element P, just fill it with anything. I don't know what to fill, so I use lorem ipsum. And then below it, button with the class btn, just the same with this one, the class btn, but the text inside it you can customize it. Okay, just copy this from div class service box until the closing of the div, and then copy it 3 times. And then you can customize also the text like this: coffee, bread, sweets. You can maybe use cars, motorcycle, bikes, or something else. Okay, nice. So this is the preview of our website before we give it some toppings, some CSS. This is pure HTML. Okay, so first we'll explain it again. In the very top, there is header, or navbar. First, we have the logo, which is I fill with Adriana Rendra. You can customize it yourself. Below it, we have the actual navbar, which have home, services, about, and contact. And then under it, we have our home section, which have the title, Welcome to Caffeine, and the subtitle, Your Online Coffee Machine. And also a button, which has the text See More. Move on to the service. You can see there's a lot in service, but it's pretty simple. First off, you have the title, which we use an H2 for it. You can see here, heading 2. And then this one from here to here, right, from here to here is service box, as you can see here, service box. From top here to bottom, it's service container. All of this are wrapped in service container, and each of this from the heading 2 from the button is wrapped in service box. So service box as service container, and then inside it there's multiple service box. Okay, maybe we can move on to CSS. Okay, first off, you want to import a font from Google Fonts, like this. I usually use Poppins for basic fonts, and then you can You can make this with the star icon, star logo. This thing, I don't know what this targets everything. So if you write this, that means it targets everything. So now everything has margin 0, padding 0, box sizing border box, text decoration none, border none, outline 0, font family, Poppins or sans serif, and scroll behavior smooth. As you can see, because the text decoration none and border none, our link is now free from the underline. If we delete this, there's still underline and it's still, the font is still sans serif. But if you use this, the font become Poppins, and the margin or gap between elements is 0. As you can see, if we delete this, there's gaps here between the elements, the heading 2, the container, the button, there's gaps. But if we use this with the star logo, it's basically become 0, or the margin 0, no gaps. Scroll behavior smooth, I will tell you what's the importance of that later. Box sizing border box is for box sizing border box. It's complicated, but maybe I'll explain it later. Okay, let's continue to the root. This is just for our baseline for deciding colors and fonts. Here, the background color, I use white, and not white, different. I started to write a bit. And the second background color, I use cream. For the text color, I use black, but I started a bit. And the main color, I use pinkish. Yeah, it's pink. You can call it pink. And the main font, I use Abril Fat Face. If you want to use this font, you need to import it from Google Fonts. This is just for our baseline, our foundation of colors and text. Okay, next to the HTML. This targets the whole HTML file. We reduce the font size into 62.5% and the overflow X hidden. So font size 62.5% is for making the font only 62.5% of the actual size, and overflow X hidden is so you cannot scroll to the right or left. Okay, let's continue. For the section, minimal height, the minimal heights of the section is this one, section div class services, this section. And padding 10 rem, 9% 2 rem. As you can see, already become much better. Okay, I will explain padding for a bit. Padding is the gap between elements and borders. So every element have a border, and padding is the gap between that. So you can see section, I already say section is this whole thing. This whole thing is wrapped in section. So the padding is 10 rem, 9% and 2 rem. 10 rem is for the upper. So this actually has a border here, but it's invisible. The padding, the gap between the section, the element, and that border is 10 rem. Or I like to use rem. You can also use pixel, but pixel is too small for me, so I use rem. 10 rem, and 9% is for the right and left. So the padding between this section and the right and the left side of the screen is 9%, or the gap is 9%, and then the bottom gap is 2 rem. Okay, let's continue. Body, this is for the whole site. So the body, or you can say the website, has the background color. As you can see, it's easier to use this. You just need to type it like this: background, and then far, and then already there will be the thing, and then you just type the thing here. you want to use, background color or maybe text color or maybe main color. And then the color is text color. So the background color will be white, and the color or everything that's not the background will be black. For example, text will be black. Okay, now we move on for making the navbar. So first, header, we target everything here, and we gave it position fixed. So when we scroll, it's still on top of there, top 0, so it stays at the top, and left 0. Then we give it width 100% and padding 1.3 rem and 9%. I already explained padding. So at the top and the bottom here, there's a gap. You can see the top and the bottom. There's a 1.3 rem gap, and on the right and the left, there's a 9% gap. The background, I use text color, or text color here is black, and for the color, I use main color, and then display flex to make it like this. As you can see, wait, if I okay, like this, it's not inline, it's not flex, it's not, how do I say it, horizontal and vertical. Yes, horizontal and vertical. So like this, it's the logo on, and the link is not in the same place. If you use flex, it will be in the same place, same line. Okay, then justify content space between to give it space between the elements, and align item center, so make it center, and also z index 100. Okay, then we move on to the logo, or the very right, this, the target dot logo, which is something that has a class logo. Here we give the HDA, or the link with the class logo, is Adrian Narendra. So here we give it font size 2.5 rem, letter spacing 0.1 rem, margin right minus 0.1 rem, and color, background color, or white, with the font weight 400, cursor default, and font family main font, or Abril fat face. So you can see it's already so different. I will explain maybe cursor default. So link has the properties, if you hover it, it will be like this, it will be pointer. Here, I will revert, it will be pointer like this. But if you give it cursor default, when you hover at it, it will not change, it will be default. Font weight is for making the font more bigger, more have fatter. Okay, move on to the navbar. The with target dot navbar, which is this class navbar, and we target specifically the links, or the A's. We give them font size 1.6 rem. Can do this. Font size 1.6 rem. The color, background color, or white. Margin left, or gap left. Here, every A now has a gap on the right, on the left, 4 rem. And the transition 0.4 second. I will explain you what transition is after this, because it will be important. Okay, as you can see, our navbar is already looking pretty good, pretty solid, but we can make it even better. Now we give dot navbar A, it will target navbar again, specifically the A's, or the links inside of it, and we give it hover. So the hover property will make when we hover, it will do anything that we type inside this. So in here, if we hover it, the color will become the main color. So the main color is pink. So let's try it now. As you can see, it's already pretty good. Transition 04S is for making it smoother, making it, for example, didn't use this, it will be, wait, let's try and see. Didn't use this, it will be like that. It's not pretty to see. Yes. Okay. Continue. So the home, we continue to the home image. So the home image. First, we target the dot home image or something that has the dot home slash flash image class. With no repeat, or else it will repeat infinitely. We give it the height 1 VH, or VH short for viewpoint height, and then the width 100%. Background position center to make it center, of course, and the background side cover to make it cover the whole screen. And also position relative so we can move it around. We continue. This is to make it the before the home dash image. Content, just don't fill it. Position absolute. Height 100%, width 100%, and the background black alpha, RGBA, not RGB, RGBA, and give it 0.4 at the end, so it will make this darker. As you can see, I mean, you can use this, but personally, I think this is better. Let's continue. Now we target the home dash content point with point home dash content. We're targeting the HTML what element to have the home dash content class, which we can see here. So we are targeting this whole thing. We give it a width 100%, position absolute, top 52% and left 50% just to make it center. Padding 0.1 rem, 0 and 1 rem, not 0.1 rem. And text align center, also transform translate minus 50%, minus 50%. This to make it center. So you can see we already have our text here. We just need to customize it even more. Okay, first we start with the title. So we target again home dash content, but specifically we target the element that have the class title. We can see here that there's a div, oops, that have the class title, which is this div. So it will target the text within that div. We give the text letter spacing zero point 0.2 rem, font family Abel fat face, or if the browser is not able to load Abel fat face, it will use sans serif. This is the use of adding this. And then color white, or you can use what I thought earlier, color var background color, and also font size 6 rem. So you can see it's already big. Let us see the web variant. Okay, good. Okay, we move on to the subtitle. Okay, now we target the subtitle or the element that have the class subtitle. As you can see here, so it will target this text, your online coffee machine. Okay, we give it font family Poppins, and if Poppins will not load, it will give it sans serif. and the color also white, font size 2 rem. All right, we move on to the button. There's a lot of things here. First off, we give justify content and align item center to make it center. Margins up to rem to give it this gap between the subtitle and the button. The color white to make the text inside of it white. The height 40 pixel and the width 130 pixel. This make the button have the size, the height 40 pixel and the width 130 pixel. With no outline, no border, border radius 0.3 rem to make it like this, not sharp. If we don't give it border radius, it'll be sharp, as you can see. Cursor pointer, so every time we point at this, our cursor become a pointer. I already explained how to make links. When you hover, it became default, and now when we hover at buttons, it will become pointer. Oh yeah, I haven't explained this. Dot button will target everything that have the class button. So here, there's a few actually that we give the class button. First off, in the home section, there's the button with the class button. We also give all of it on the service section a button also. So if we scroll down here, as you can see, all of them already has a button of their own. Okay, let's continue. We give them the background color, main color. You can use var main color, or you can write it yourself like me here. And transition, all 0.5 second ease. You can do this or just write 0.5 seconds or maybe 0.4 seconds like this. 0.4 seconds or 0.4 seconds. Both of them are the same, but this one just is simpler. I already explained transition. So we move on to button hover. So I give it when we hover at this button, the color of the text will become the main color. The background color will become white, and transform scale 1.25. The use of this is to make, when we hover it, it will scale up 1.25 times the original size. So it will be bigger 25% of the original size. So let's try it. Hover at the button. As you can see, the background become white, the text become the main color or pink, and it became 25% bigger. Okay, let's see the overview of the home section. Pretty good. Okay, maybe we move on to the next, which is the service section. So as you can see, the service section right now isn't too good, but we can make it better. So first, with the title, we target anything that have services class. Let's see here. Services, so it's this one. But specifically, we target the H2 inside services, inside something that has services class. So we target this, our services. We make it have a margin button of 4 rem, so there's a gap here. And font size 6 rem to make the font, of course, bigger, and text line center to make it center. Okay, let's move on. Service container. This targets these whole things or anything that has the service dash container class, which is all of this. We give it display flex Justify content center, align item center. This for make it to make it centered. Flex wrap and gap to rem. Gap is to it's actually the same with margin to give it gaps, and display flex to make it aligned in one line. Okay, continue. Now we target service the anything that have the class service box inside of anything that had the class service container. So we target each one of these inside service container. We give it flex 1. This is a space 1 space 1 space 30 rem. The background color text color or black. The color of the text is background color or white. Padding 3 rem, 2 rem, 4 rem. So the top margin and the top margin will be 3 rem, the bottom will be 4 rem, and the right and the left will be 2 rem. Border radius 2 rem to make it not sharp. Text line center to make everything center. Border 0.2 rem solid. Variant to background color. This to give it border. It will be important soon. And transition 0.5 seconds. This is what I explained earlier. You can use this transition 0.5 second, or you can use the more complete one. It's the same. This, if you type this 0.5 seconds, it already have all and ease. But you can also write it like here, like this transition, all 0.5% ease. So as you can see, it has now a background. Have a background now. Its text is white now. Now we just need to adjust each and every one of them. Oh yeah, before that, we give it hover. So yes, like this. So in the hover, if we hover the service box or this thing, this is the service box. Each and every one of these is service box. If we hover over it, the border will become a different color, or here main color, or pink, and transform scale 1.02. I already explained transform scale is for making it bigger, so this thing will be bigger 2% than its original size. Okay, sorry, looking good. We continue. Now we target the H3 or this thing inside the service box. We give it font size 2.6 pixels. Okay, now we target the P or the paragraph, the text. This one inside the service box class. We give it text line justify to make it better. Font size 1.6 rem to make it bigger, and the margin 1 rem and 0.3 rem. So it will have the top and bottom margin, this gap and this gap of 1 rem, and the right and left margin of 0.3 rem. Okay, so we have finished our website. As you can see, it's pretty simple. That's why I named it How to Make a Simple Website, only using HTML and CSS. Very basic. We haven't used GS yet, so this is not yet responsive, but it's already pretty good. As you can see, have all the button, can be pretty good, pretty good. And forgot to tell you the importance of giving every section the ID, services, or home like this. We gave the href or and in the link of the navbar. For example, home have the href or the link inside of it, home or id home. So if we give it the id home, when we click home, it will lead us to home, as you can see. And then the second link, services, we give it the href or the link inside of it, services, with this thing. So if we give the ID, the service section, the whole service section, an ID services, when we click services, it will lead us there, as you can see. Okay, maybe this is the end of our meeting, my teachings, how to make a simple website. I'm sorry if I make any mistake. Wassalamu'alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Okay, thank you very much for Brother Adrian, who has explained the material very well. Well, I hope it's beneficial for me and for all the viewers. And for the viewers, maybe you may try to do what has been explained by Brother Adrian. Well, before we close this weekend technology talks, we apologize if we made any mistakes. And thank you so much for viewing today's weekend technology talks. Last I say, أقول قولي هذا وأستغفر الله لي ولكم والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.